Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE, the 6:30 a.m. edition. How are you? Did you crush the Kringle? The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. And you left bacon for Santa, but didn't leave any bacon for me. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. How are you? Hope you had a good Christmas. And boy, everyone's going on vacation this Christmas season, especially your stimulus bill, which went on vacation from Washington, D.C. to Florida. Flown down there on private jet, first class. Peanuts, the little miniature bar drinks that came to the bill. You want something to drink, Mr. Bill? No. And the president will be staring at the bill all weekend long when he's not playing golf. And the president has to decide whether to sign, veto, not sign, or do something else. And ultimately, if he does nothing by Sunday, the federal government shuts down. Yeah, congratulations, Same day that PUC and PUA expires together. Might as well go for a triple header, don't you think, Nance? 0 for 3, just strike out on everything. In this video, I'm going to go over the implications of staying with a $600 stimulus check and signing the bill, which could happen this weekend. Some insiders think that's still a possibility, versus the derailment and going back to this whole, amendment changes and things going to a vote next week. And with that, thank you for joining me on Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a great morning. I hope you had a beautiful Christmas. Thank you for joining me on the Christmas party. And boy, it was just a lot of fun. And it's going to be a good day. And I really appreciate you for joining me. It's going to be, you would think that a Christmas weekend in the news cycle is going to be slow. It is not going to be slow. It's going to be very heated. So I want you to make sure you subscribe, because what's going to happen between now and the end of this weekend is just going to be all over the place, because Sunday's a deadline. It's a triple witching deadline, as you would say in the stock market. The PUA expires, the FPUC expires, and the government shuts down on Sunday, and the bill has to be signed or done with something, or it turns into a pocket veto. So there's so many things happening. I don't want you to miss a video recording. I know you may have been, gone for a day or two because of the holidays, and if you're back, you're like, what is going on? So I'll try to keep everything back to basic and keep you up to date around the clock. Also, like this video. Over there is an instant premiere. It's featured every day at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on the 6 o'clock show. You can chat with your Purple Power buddies, communicate, think what you think, ask one another what you think. Ask one another what you think Trump is going to do over the weekend, because no one really has any idea what he's going to do. But I'll be getting to that right now. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news that the president may still sign the bill. There have been a lot of reports that say no one really knows what he's going to do. There's no insider that knows what he's going to do. There's no one in the White House that's consistent on message. And certainly what happened here was a situation where certain people in the White House wanted him to sign the bill. He didn't sign the bill, and that he was urged to sign the bill, but may still sign the bill. What's going on here? Well, Josh Hawley met with the president early on in this process, and the president was told by Hawley, veto the bill because there's no stimulus check in there. At that time, there was no stimulus check in there. I want to remind someone, the broadcast news reporters, if you're tuning in, they continually say that the Democrats wanted to give you a stimulus check early on in the process. They did not. The problem creators, who the Democrats supported their bill, had no stimulus check in there. In fact, Mitt Romney, who's a Republican in the Senate, had gone to both sides of the political spectrum and said, I want to get a stimulus check in there. I really don't want it. Romney made it very clearly. The Democrats and the Republicans both did not want a stimulus check in here. So when Josh Hawley went to the president, there was no stimulus check in there. And he urged the president to veto it unless there's a stimulus check in there. The president did not say yes or no, but said he would likely. Then Josh raised the issue about how much of a stimulus check the president would like. And the president said he was unhappy that people were trying to do no stimulus check. In this case, it was everyone, except like 2 people and this channel. Then the president told Holly what type of stimulus check he would want. He said anywhere between about $1,200 to $2,000. Okay. I reported that for several days. I had a lot of videos where the title said, President wants stimulus check up to $2,000. Some people slammed me saying, how dare you put that title? That's never going to happen. The president has no say about the matter. Of course he has a say in the matter. He's the person who signs the bill. If he doesn't sign the bill, then you don't have a bill. If the president says he wants a $2,000 stimulus check, of course I'm going to report on whether he wants a $2,000 stimulus check, because if you give him a $5 stimulus check, he's going to say, no, I want $2,000. That's how Congress works. Takes House and Senate, and then the president signed the bill. If he doesn't sign it, you don't have a law. It was ironic at the time when I reported it because the president made very clear, $1,200 to $2,000. You notice what number's not included in there? 600. So who came up with that 600, and why was $600 put in there when the president specifically did not include that number in his list of possibilities? Mitch McConnell. He put the $600 number in there out of fear that he was going to lose those 2 Georgia Senate seats, and wanted to throw a stimulus check in there to make it look like he's doing something. No one knows publicity better than Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi. Mitch McConnell has an entire press department. He has a communications director. He has a chief of staff of publicity, and he has not one but several press websites. He added the stimulus check, and suddenly broadcast media ate it up alive. Like, it was so wonderful. Yeah, it was less than $1,200, but this is an emergency and you'll get more money in the future. Sure, of course you will. It worked. Well, it didn't work with the president. The president at some point must have seen that Mitch McConnell did exactly what the president said he did not like. Holly is a senator. He's also in the House. He's also a Republican. So he must have clearly told Mitch, why are you doing 600 when the president said to me, do 1,200 to 2,000? And there started the problems. People said that the president ultimately would sign the bill. I reported that he was going to sign it. There was countless reports where the White House was asked, will you sign this bill if it's voted upon? Yes, he will. As written, he will sign it as written. It had a $600 stimulus check. Then it went to a vote. It got approved. And then what happened? Changed his mind. Changed his mind and said 2,000. So, how do you get from point A to point B, or do you want to stay at point A? Point A in this situation is a $600 stimulus check with a bill that's been passed by both houses of Congress. Point B is a $2,000 stimulus check that has not been approved anywhere. Now, I'm not advocating for one or the other, but I'm saying that a series of news reports suggest that the president may sign this bill because there is no way to go back. There's no way to go to B if no one can agree to all the parts of B, except the president and us. If everyone's disagreeing about everything, then how do you get point B finished? You can't get it finished. There is a way to get point A finished. He signs it and he's done. Let me go over the nuances of what's happening. The current bill is on the president's table. It's passed the House. It's passed the Senate. All the president has to do is sign it. It's law. Done. We're literally done. In a blink of an eye, out of nowhere, after, taking a break to have a slice of cake and sitting down, like, I think I'll sign this bill. Okay, signed. Done. Law. The whole issue's done. Then we don't have to hear about second stimulus until we look to January and Biden comes in and we do third stimulus. It's done. There's nothing else left to do. Now, if he says, no, I'm not going to sign it, then, and he says, I'm not going to sign it because of 3 reasons, then there's a series of things that really have to unfold between now and next week. And those series of things are really teed up upon whether the president will stay on his position that I want 3 things done, and whether the Republicans and Democrats consistently don't do those 3 things. They're both sort of setting themselves up for failure because they're doing exactly what the president's told them not to do. He wants foreign aid for foreign countries taken out. He wants aid for museums taken out, and he wants a stimulus check raised. No one's giving him all 3 things. The Republicans are giving him 2 things of the 3, and the Democrats are giving them 1 of the 3 things. And they're not overlapping. They're doing 1 of the 3, and they're doing the other 2 of the 3. And so with that, if both sides get their own bills passed, they're not going to work together because they don't have all 3 of the 3 things. And with that, you just sort of wonder, wait a second, you were literally on the cusp of having a wonderful 5,000-page bill law, and now you don't have anything. And who's to blame? Everyone. Everyone's to blame. Here we are this morning, and you're looking at it and saying, well, why don't the Republicans and Democrats just do the three things the president said to have them do? Not clear why they aren't doing it. There is time to wake up and realize that situation. The problem creators and Mitt Romney and all these people are supposed to be the moderators of the group to get them to understand this is how you get from A to B. Well, this is clearly how you get from A to B. You do all three permutations, which all the three changes what the president asked for, and put it to a vote and get it done and send it back to the president. And then he'll sign it. He said on broadcast media in a taped video recording, he wants these three things. This is not a situation where anyone thinks that he's going to change his mind again. It's just unlikely. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what's the big deal? Why does foreign aid have to be in this bill? Why does a museum have to be in this bill? Why are they even in this bill? If you want to fight tooth and nail for a museum and foreign aid, then put them in the Biden bill in January. If you think you're going to win the Georgia Senate seats in January, put them in the Biden bill. And then if you really don't want to give anyone a stimulus check because you're a very, very cheap Republican in the Senate, like a Ron Johnson, then just vote no so we see who you are. But presumably the same people who said no to $600 are going to say no to $2,000. Now, presumably you won't pick up any more no votes in the Senate. It'll still pass. There is no indication as we sit here today that there's a new senator who's going to say no to 2,000, but said yes to 600. That's one of the biggest points at issue. That ultimately Mitch McConnell, if he does his job right, is calling people up in the Senate saying, hey, you voted yes for 600. Will you vote yes for 2,000? You voted yes for 600. Can I get your vote of yes for 2,000? And if he pulls his senators, which that's his job as the head of the Senate, then he'll know that he can get the bill passed. It's as simple as that. Get the bill passed and send it back to Nancy. Says, Nancy, I got the bill passed exactly the way the president wants. Your move. And her move will be to take the stupid foreign aid out and the stupid museum money out. Now, how about your PUA, UI, and FPUC and all that and more? Eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance and student loan debt repayment are three issues at stake. Mortgage forbearance is not covered in this bill, but all three of those things will be taken care of by Biden on day one by executive order. But in this bill, you'll get protection for the student aid, and you get protection for the eviction moratorium, but not for the student aid and not for the mortgage forbearance. Your FPUC and your PUA is expiring this Sunday, but the bill would reactivate them. So even though you're going to lapse, you're going to be put back on active status. There's a lot of other good stuff in this bill. And it doesn't make sense to sort of throw this away at this 11th hour. Just do exactly what the man told you to do, the President of the United States. He told you to do something. Go do it. You know, it's times like this that people just don't understand what these people are doing. It has always been the case for hundreds of years that the president has to sign the bill. Otherwise, it's not law. So don't send the president something that he doesn't want to sign, because otherwise it won't be law unless you want to do an override of a veto. Well, they haven't done that either, and they can do that as well. This bill is veto-proof, meaning that when there were votes for the bill, they got enough votes to approve the bill. And as a veto-proof bill, it means that the House and the Senate can say, you know what, we're going to override a veto from the president, which they still don't have, and then get it to law. If they override a veto, it becomes law that day. Pretty easy. It's sometimes easy. It's just not the path most taken by these congressional leaders. So what do I expect? It's just, what was it in July? Was it in August or September? People are asking me, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think we get a stimulus check? There's a couple things going on that could change. There's just a couple weird little scenarios that could change. If you had asked me last week, are we going to get a stimulus check? Yeah. I see Josh and Bernie causing enough of a ruckus to get you a stimulus check, but I didn't see this path. I mean, to imagine that these things change by the minute so quickly and so incredibly fast. The hope is that they continue to move things quickly. The hope is that while the Senate and the House are not in session, full session until Monday or Tuesday, that the wranglings will heat up over the weekend. I will hope, this is my deepest wish, that broadcast news reports will start to report both sides of the story, because you have to have the bill exactly like the president asked for. If you only do the stimulus check revision, the bill is going to get rejected by the president again, and we're going nowhere forward. But the next first place forward is Mornings LALATE. Join me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the continuation of the show. And if you've not, watch EIDL, which aired earlier this morning, and FPUC on the new 24-hour programming slot on this channel. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay that life.